Food Fridays on Fox 24 News Now. Sponsored by U.S. Food Chef Store. Great food, wholesale prices.
You don't have to be a Cornish tin miner to appreciate perfection in a single bite. On this week's Food Friday, we bring you to Handy and Hot, and I'm standing with celebrity chef Vivian Howard. Thank you so much for having us here. Of course, when I talk about the perfect bite, we're talking about the classic hand pie. So I'm really curious why the hand pie was so intriguing to you.
Well, I grew up in Eastern North Carolina, and on Saturdays, my grandfather would take us to this local barbecue place, and they made Apple Jacks on Saturdays. And so they were, very delicate ham pies with dried apples inside that were like slightly sweetened and fried in pork drippings because it was a barbecue restaurant. And I just remember that, that memory was so tasty and evocative. So I've always been obsessed with things wrapped in a pastry, and I studied abroad in Argentina where empanadas are such a big thing, and so I don't know, the ham pie drum has been beating for me a long time.
What would you say is sort of the most important component of creating a ham pie?
Well, I think the crust. I mean, because you can really put anything tasty inside, savory or sweet, but the crust has to feel special. It has to feel like someone rolled it out by hand and folded it by hand, because it's a hand pie.
Right.
Hand pies are popular, so we're doing a lot of rolling back there.
And I think it's great to also have that collaboration. So for you as a chef, and to be able to work with your fellow chefs right here in Charleston, it creates a lot of conversation, I would imagine.
100%.
Yeah.
So, I'm from North Carolina, so I'm kind of new here, and I wanted to engage with the restaurant community, and so we picked some of my favorite places around town and asked the chefs there if they would be willing to do a hand pie that represents their style, and we sell it for a month or two here, and it's just been great. The first collaboration we did with Shui Wang from Jackrabbit Philly, and people were coming in day after day just to get his hand pie.
Oh yeah.
And now we're doing a collaboration with Jill Mathias from Chez Nu, probably my favorite restaurant here.
Yeah.
And hers has pear and almond and blue cheese, like all my favorite things. So it's a lot of fun.
And the sweet all together. That sounds wonderful. So you've also got Obstinate Daughter who's participating.
Yes.
You also have Rodney Scott, who we love.
Yes, Jacques Larson from the Obstinate Daughter, Chef BJ Dennis, and Juan Castellet from Malagon, all coming up.
Oh, and Malagon is a great tapas restaurant.
Oh, I love it so much.
Fantastic little dishes. It feels like you're in Spain when you go there. So
Absolutely.
They can come to Spain and come to Handy and Hot
too.
So do you have any mainstays on the menu that you just always have that people can come in?
Well, we always have the Applejack.
Yeah.
And we generally have a vegetarian ham pie and a ham pie that has meat in it. And right now we have a buffalo chicken ham pie because it's like football season.
Yes.
And the Applejack and Jill's pies. What we do here mainly are biscuit sandwiches, ham pies, and like grab and go snacks.
And great coffee.
Great coffee.
I
always drink the Ipsinto, which is inspired by a coffee shop in Chicago where they have a drink that's coconut milk and cayenne and coffee, and it's like my favorite.
Oh, that sounds fantastic. And it's perfect for the winter months, something to really warm you from the inside out. Vivian, thank you so much for having us here.
Thank you. Thank you.
That's gonna do it for us on this edition of Food Friday. We'll see you again next week.
Food Fridays on Fox 24 News Now. Sponsored by U.S. Food Chef Store. Great food, wholesale prices.